And suddenly the grown-ups around you turn on you. They tell you that your body needs to be cut open to fix it, and you are being forcibly held down on a table, prepped for surgery that you don't understand, surrounded by big, faceless grown-ups in masks and gloves and machines and beeping and bright lights. How do you ever forget something so traumatic? How do you ever get over that? But that is exactly what happened to this little girl. Her closest people decided that the problem wasn't them, wasn't their culture, or the diet, or the lack of education, or the emotional pain. It was her. No, it's unthinkable. And let's not pretend that this is only an issue in Egypt. Okay, yeah, this is where the tragedy happened, but some of the thinking behind this is global. We live in a world that pathologizes normal bodies, especially female ones. And I'm not trying to say it's not the same for you men, because it actually is. We panic at the first sign of softness. Softness makes us unacceptable. It makes us ugly. It makes us different. It makes us lazy. It makes us unlovable. No one will want to marry us. So we medicalize weight before we even understand the person that's carrying it. And we call that care. When did we start confusing treatment with punishment? Our obsession with weight has eclipsed our duty to protect, nurture and understand. And it's not just about this one child. It's about how easily we let fear and stigma drive decisions that should be grounded in science, ethics and humanity. I am not calling for a witch hunt. I'm calling for accountability. The surgeon is under investigation, and rightly so, because without accountability, medicine becomes arrogance. And the parents? Okay. If I have any empathy for them at all, and believe me, I am having to dig really deep here, but I do understand the constraints of certain cultures, certain belief systems, and the fear that that would have instilled into them. I mean, I really do. I know what it's like to live in a world that judges you by your size. But desperation and a lack of education does not justify damage. A parent's job is to protect, not to project. If they can't do that, they do not have the right, in my opinion, to care for a child, and this should be treated as a safeguarding issue. That child deserved advocates, doctors, psychologists, social workers, all of whom could have stepped in and said, no, not like this. And if none of those systems existed or were silenced, then that's where the shame belongs. Not with the child, but with the adults who failed her. I'm angry, yeah. But you know what? Beneath that anger is heartbreak, because I see echoes of this everywhere. In every adult who was told as a child that their body was wrong, in every woman who can't eat a meal without feeling guilty, in every man who hides behind humour because he was bullied for his weight at school. It all starts so early on, and it starts when we stop letting children be children.